Have you ever wondered how a franchise candidate that seemed so promising during the selection process turned into such a nightmare? You ask yourself time and time again, how could this franchisee slip past our screening process? They had all the answers. They seemed to know what it would take to be successful. Maybe you're the victim of the dreaded professional franchise candidate. They know what you're looking for so well that they'll almost always slip past your screening process. How do you protect yourself from these professional franchise candidates? Here's what happened to one of our clients and how they figured out that their candidate was a professional franchise candidate. Hi, I'm Karen from Dynamic Performance Systems. We help franchisors like you choose franchisees that grow and improve their retail or fast food system. One of our clients called to talk about an issue with a candidate. I'll use Bob, our friendly VP of franchising, to protect the privacy of our franchisor. The issue was a discrepancy between two parts of their selection process. One part was our franchisee predictor predictions. The other was their standard structured interview by his two-person selection committee. When Bob looked at our franchisee predictor results, he saw that the candidate had a negative attitude. Just as important, his levels of drive were nowhere near what was needed to start and run the new business. On top of that, the candidate's attitude to his employees would be very poor. Because of those issues, the franchisee predictor report said he would perform in the bottom 25% of franchisees. Bob's selection committee got a different read on the candidate. They thought this was a wonderful candidate, well able to build a location into an asset for the franchise. When Bob and our team discussed these differences, we realized there had to be more to the story. So, Bob asked the candidate to come back for a second interview. Some of the questions Bob asked were based on the job-specific situational judgment questions in our 7 interview questions you must ask all franchise candidates workbook. Other questions were more directed to the candidate's exposure to franchising as a whole and Bob's company in particular. After a few days, we got a call back from Bob to let us know how the interview went. It turns out that over the previous year, the candidate had applied to 4 other franchisors. He'd met the minimum requirements, but once each franchisor dug deeply into the candidate's background, they decided not to sell them a franchise. So it turned out that Bob's company was the 5th franchise he applied for. After having gone through 4 selection interviews, the candidate knew what the franchisor wanted to hear. He knew what slant to put on his story to put them in the most favorable light. Bob also heard the craziest thing. He'd never even set foot into one of the franchisor's stores. In fact, he hadn't come within 100 miles of one of Bob's stores. It turns out that he just wanted to buy a franchise. Any franchise. It didn't matter which one. Anyone would do. Imagine what would have happened if Bob had sold him a store. What would happen when the location underperformed? Who would the franchisee blame when he inevitably failed? Himself or the franchisor? Would he take it to the extreme and sue Bob's company for his own failure? Bob passed on this candidate and is really glad he took the extra time for a second interview. So what's the moral of the story? Don't ever just use one selection process to make a decision about whom you'll sell a franchise, no matter how good it is. Because let's face it, we can all be fooled by a good interviewee. Until next time, have a dynamic day.